Welcome to the second part of the video. Well, we will be continuing the discussion about the values and the principle of the Agile Manifesto. And let me recap that what we have discussed is that something must be prioritized over others. That's what Agile is about. So for that, they have given us 4 values and corresponding 12 principles. So let me ask you something so that you have revised the first video. And what value among all the 4 describes about the communications? Which of them is about communications? Okay, let me give you one hint. It's not value 1 because we will be discussing about value 1 today, and it's about people. Okay, so think for a while and answer. And if you have said that it's about value 2, then yes, you're right, because value 1 is about people, value 2 is about communications, and value 3 is about product, of course, and value 4 is about flexibility. So today what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about the 12 principle, not all the 12 principles, but major of the 12 principles that we think corresponds to the value 1, which is about people. Okay, let's start from the principle number 4, which talks about business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. What it means is that the people who wants to create their product and people who are developing the product, I helping those businessmen, those investor making successfully the launching of the product, they should work together daily. The word here is daily, so I should focus more on this part again. It's like daily means we have to have a stand up, we have to have some kind of communication, we have to have the status update. All those things should be daily. It's very important, that's why I have highlighted the word daily. It's the core of this all principle is that they should work together, not on a long gap. There should not be miscommunications and after weeks of update, oh, I was thinking that you did this. So that's why there must be a communication which is daily. Now let's start from the principle number 5, which states that build project around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. So there are lots of factors in this which we need to discuss in details. How you motivate a person, how you can motivate an individuals, that's the key goal of our principle. There are lots of factors. The first that comes in mind is the hygiene factor. It's like you have to give a good equipment like hardware, the computer the programmer need to work on. If they need a Mac, they should be provided Mac. If they need Windows, if they need Linux, all the software parts, all the hardware parts, the training, the job security, the salary, those all things comes in hygiene factors. That matters a lot. That's how you motivate a software developer. And the motivators are like the changing work, the recognition of their responsibilities. You have to have that. You have to give those developer the challenging part. Believe me, it's not so easy. The developers they need challenging work. If you give on the same kind of work that's easy for them, they won't be motivated. The thing their engineer need is like they need a challenge in their work. Only then they are happy. What we need to add after that is responsibility. It matters because the team who is responsible for their tasks has to have a decision and make a decision and then follow that path. So they should be responsible for their work, and delivering the work responsibility is a big thing. Once we give them the responsibility of their work, and once they feel that they have responsibility and they deliver the work, that's how people get motivated. That's very essential. And once they have recognized that they have those potential to be responsible, the recognition that they have completed their tasks, when we encourage them to, wow, you have completed work, you have been rewarded, that's then they get very happy. And another part we can give them is vacation. At the end of the day, when they complete their tasks, vacation, give them work, leave, they need to have break. All those things again matter because that's how people work. People are not robots. They need fun, they need challenges, they need vacations. So principle 5 is all about motivating those individuals.
Okay, let's start from the principle number 6, which states that the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. What it means is that Agile principle number 6 give emphasis to the face-to-face communications. So it's slightly against my rule because I am a freelancer developer who works from other part of the globe, working with people in the US, Europe, Australia, and all those parts. I normally don't have face-to-face meeting with them. So even then, I am quite agile in my software development. So I personally don't prefer this principle too much, but still I'll explain why there is advantage in face-to-face communication that we can't have in a real world scenario that we expect. The first part is about non-verbal communication. It's like you always tends to be communicating with other people through other body language. It's like how you react, how you move your hands, how the gesture you make when you see someone's face, something like that. Some bonding you have with people when you meet can't have in the online conversation or a video conferencing call. The more agile is trying to say about face to face is like when there were no audio video calls like that. But today in the modern world we have lots of Skype calls where we can see the people's face, we know their body language as well. So this might not make much sense, but thing is that when you are having a conference call, there has to be some kind of time zone difference. You have to have a different people in different zone. Someone is waking up at the middle of the night, someone is just coming back from some road trips, or someone is taking a call from a road. All those things can have a distraction. The concentration part is very missing when you are having an online conference call, which is different from when you are actually having a meeting in an office face to face. Now let's start from principle number 11, which states that the best architecture, requirements, and design emerge from self-organizing team. It's something quite different from normal people thinking. It's like the something will come within the team, something will come from inside. It's like I'm a solution architect. I design lots of the software components, architecture, like how the work should be done, how the software should have flow. But having said that, no matter how much experience I have, the team, those who are building the software, will have a better idea how it should go forward. It's like even someone expert in the domain or expert of the software development will not have all the idea that can have on the development process. It's like once you start developing a software, once you start doing the work, only then you'll have idea what is the actual requirement, what are the things we can develop within the team. So what is trying to say is that self-organized team, the team should have that communication, team should have that kind of determination to do something within the team. The people working together will make something that is out of the box. It's like software architect can keep some architecture, they can give cool guidelines, all those things, but still if you have a strong team, if there is a trust within the specialist architect, designer, and analyst, will have a better delivery of the software. Now let's move on to the last principle, principle number 12, which states that at regular intervals the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behaviors accordingly. It's more about retrospective. It's like in the sprint planning, we will do what went well in the sprint, what could have been improved, or what will we commit to improve on the next sprint. So it's like the small team of people will be working together and they will reflect on how effective they were in the given sprint, how organized they were, how they should develop further based on these things, like what they have done in last 2 weeks. Was that according to their plan? Was there something mistake they did that they can improve further? So it's like at regular interval, at the end of the sprint, they will have a meeting, they will call up a meeting and they will say that, okay, I said I will do task number ABC, but I could only complete A and B. So we have a flaw that we could not deliver all the tasks. So how will we improve on our delivery? All those things are sprint planning and retrospective that are done at the regular interval. So the team will have a very fluent flow, and if there is some drawback within the team, they can improve on that as soon as there is a problem. So that's all for the principles for the value number 1. See you on the next video. Thank you.